Press the bell icon and never miss an update from ETAuto.
Hello and welcome to ETAuto. We have seen automobile products moving fast towards digitization and electronics contents are increasing, thus making great space for high-edge or new-age technology companies. We have here with us one such company, ETAS Automotive Limited, which is providing software and tools to test electronics and electrical content. Welcome to ETAuto Karnath ji. ETAS is involved in newest technology solutions. What kind of market do you see developing in India when it comes to use of new age technology? Because we see software content, we see electronic content increasing in automobiles.
I think auto industry in India is, let's say, at a very exciting times. On one hand, we have the ICE, the conventional technology, still going strong. On the other hand, we have the new technologies coming in, the electromobility, the connected mobility. And ETAS as a company, we have tools for all these, the conventional automobile technology as well, and also the new ones, that is the electromobility, the connected mobility. And not to forget, when we talk about connected mobility, we are talking about cyber security as well. So these are exciting times for companies like ETAS.
What kind of market do you see growing in India for companies like yourself, or overall when we talk about software driven technologies in automotive space?
Yeah. See, when it comes to BS6, now BS6 is already there. Yeah. See, one is about the technology to meet the BS6. Second is about the time to market. Now the technology is already there. Yeah. You have to bring the technology here. But then affordability is one thing. Second, time to market. People today, the OEMs and the tier ones alike, they are actually struggling to meet the deadlines, the timelines. And here is where ETAS can support in providing the required software as well as the hardware tools to cut short this time, the development time as well as the validation.
So how much you have a projection that generally development of a platform or an engine takes about 2 years time. With the software technology that is coming up heavily from ETAS and other place, what is the core area where you guys are working? How much we can bring down the development time?
Yeah. See, we have products in software engineering as well, where you can cut short the time of software development itself, where OEMs can easily prototype and then start developing on their own. Then we can also cut short the time by front loading some of the validations. Not all validations will have to be done on the vehicle. You can do them on the hardware in loop systems.
So how can you give us some specific examples? How can we reduce the time?
Yeah. Say for example, if let's say you have to test a particular software or a system that you have developed new, you don't have to go to the vehicle, because building a prototype vehicle takes a long time and it is also costly. Rather, you can do it sitting at your desktop. So that cuts shorts the time at least by 50%.
So you are talking about virtual validation largely, that's what. So yeah, looking at the kind of fast-paced market, how do you see this business growing going forward in India?
This I would say will grow steeply in India, because people are talking about virtualization. We are moving from vehicle to the lab, and from the lab to the desktop. This is the trend that is going on, and we have to have solutions to test most of the things sitting at your desk. This is where ETAS can help.
So how ETAS is planning to expand itself to cater to the opportunity that's going to come with the changing market condition?
Yeah, we have solutions for almost all the trends that is there in India. So we are talking to the electromobility customers as well. We have products in the electromobility. We are also talking to the customers who are talking about, let's say, the products in cyber security. So in this,
what is your expansion plan? I meant.
At ETAS, we are talking about expanding in the new technologies, and we will grow significantly in the new technologies, especially whatever we are today. We hope to double our turnover in a span of 3 to 4 years.
Okay. And which will be the largely driver of this growth?
The large driver of this would be the cyber security. This is one area, and testing and validation. This is the virtualization we are talking about, and finally the measurement and calibration.
You start working with OEMs quite early in the development time. You are interacting with the industry. Do you see the kind of thrust that we expect to have on electrification? Is it moving really in direction? Do you see, looking at the sentiment of the manufacturers, OEMs, will be able to achieve 30% electrification of fleet by 2030, or do you think it's far from the reality?
As far as electrification is concerned, it's a chicken and egg story. Yeah. Now customers would want to have more of the charging stations, the range for the batteries, but to achieve that.
No, I wanted to understand from the kind of requirement that you are receiving from the OEM side, is it in the similar pace as we expect to move to electrification?
If you're talking about achieving 30% of pure electric vehicle by 2025 or 2030, personally I see a challenge to meet
Not
them.
30%.
Not 30%. It could be much lesser, but we could definitely see more than 30% of hybridization of automobiles by 2030.
Okay, and so when it comes to requirement of your software or your services, which is based on early decision of OEMs when they conceive their new product. So looking at that scenario, have you seen any major spike in terms of EV or hybrid plans among the OEMs in the last few months or a year?
Yeah, in the last, let's say, 1 year, we've been discussing with all the major OEMs, and all the major OEMs are talking about electromobility. Yeah, some are talking about hybrid solutions, some are talking about pure electric. But then I would say there is no spike as such from any specific OEM. It's consistent.
Okay, but there has been a lot of buzz around it. Yes. On the front, but at the back end, when it comes to taking up projects to the serious level, you don't see really much.
We are really seeing most of it are coming as demonstration projects as of now, because OEMs are also learning. At the same time, the government and the OEMs together, they are learning about this one. There are more of demonstration projects now. Series projects will only follow.
But when it comes to BS6, you have seen that people have started working on that. There's a serious project underway on that across OEMs.
We are seeing more of hybridization with gasoline.
Okay, that's the more trend that you see. In the next 5 years, what kind of hybrid penetration you see? Because you have been assessing the OEMs plans.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very difficult for me to put a number to it, but I would say it should be something close to, let's say, 10 to 20% of hybrid projects.
Thank you so much, Karnath, for talking to you. Thank you.